Hello, hello. Quick check if everything's working. Hello, everyone. We are starting the stream, but before we start, let me first introduce my first guest of today. There he is.
Hello.
Could you please introduce yourself for everyone before we begin?
Sure. Okay, so I'm Burak. I'm a brownfield enthusiast, and that's all you have to know about me.
That's a very in-depth knowledge to have about someone.
Thank you. Yeah.
So great to have you here with me. But there are also two more guests today. I mean, one of them is not really a guest, but he will be joining us as usual. Let me quickly do something in the background because I thought it would be working, but it's not. It's not. Oh,
Kevin, you forgot I have the controls over this live stream. So
I kind of did. Yeah. And we
guys,
can hear the.
Sorry?
We are being echoed.
Oh no, I don't have my headphones set up.
I'm kind of surprised.
I was supposed to join with Grabu, and he's like running late.
So you will have to listen.
Okay, so you cannot hear me at all. Like
No, we hear you. But also ourselves.
Okay.
And Slack.
And Slack.
I can turn off the Slack. That's not a problem. But
I'm quite surprised, honestly. I thought that Max have.
Let's see. Let's try to fix it. Do the echo cancellation. How about now?
Okay, we don't hear ourselves.
That's better, right?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We did it. Are we professionals now?
And even it bumped up your voice as well.
Cool. Let's start then.
That's
Can you
impressive.
see my t-shirt?
Of course.
Are you one of the core team members now?
No, not yet. I'm a fanboy though. So listen, so Mike will be here in a moment. He's running late. What I can do is I can introduce you to this format. This is a very special live stream. Kevin and Burak, they're over in Europe. It's like 5 o'clock for you guys, PM?
Yep.
It's 8 a.m. for me. And I'm in Henderson, Nevada, near Las Vegas at React Conf.
Damn.
So I'm here in this beautiful environment to give you guys the newest and latest and greatest from React ecosystem. And I'm wearing a conference t-shirt as well. You can see it in my back.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's surprisingly accurate for basically putting your laptop behind your back. Like, yeah, we saw exactly.
I practiced it.
So every move was scheduled.
And sorry for my internet. It might be pretty janky sometimes.
It's amazing right now.
Yeah, the quality, it's exquisite. Yeah, it's wow. The only thing that I can see is that you are getting what we are saying a little bit later, but that's a detail. So yeah, today on this stream, we are going to go through the newest news of React Native world. And of course, since we have our two guests from USA, we are going to talk about the conference. I would say maybe mostly about the conference today.
I think so. Yeah, that's why I joined at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Wow.
He's just flexing his
but it's exactly the same minute. Wow.
That's how the time zone work. Yeah.
That's crazy. Can you imagine if time zones were also like to the minute precise?
there are some time zones that are shifted by 15 minutes.
Also some,
Oh,
yeah,
you're saying-
also some by 30 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing of the podcast checked out, meaning we learned something today. I mean, I learned something today. Hopefully, viewers learned something today as well. I don't know why. Sorry, my brain is so scattered today. I wanted to note it down like it's a magnificent achievement today. Time zones have minute
Yeah.
intervals. So maybe let's start slow, because as all of you know, it's not a scripted show. We're mainly just calling in to learn new stuff, to discuss new technologies. So let's start slow by maybe asking Burak, what have you been working on this week and what made you go crazy this week?
That's an amazing question. Keyboard and bottom sheet plus scroll views and text inputs. Combine them all
So-
together and
yeah.
you get a good problem.
So, but you are working on that from the native side or from React Native side?
React Native, nothing native.
Okay. That's so surprising. Like in so many projects I've been, it's always the same problem. Like why we don't have yet a bulletproof solution to have views that are matching the height of the keyboard and reacting properly. It's
Except we do now. So recently with, I think the latest Expo SDK, they finally added React Native keyboard controller to be a part of the Expo SDK, so you don't have to do a pre-build or something like that. You can use it with
Okay.
Expo Go, and that was important for us. Anyway, that also means library is good enough for general use, so we just picked that up, and it works quite good. So that's what I
Nice.
implemented.
That's very good news. And we have our guest of honor, as always. Hello, Ryan. Good to have you here. So now let's move the question to Łukasz. Łukasz, what have you been working on this week? Or where have you been, actually? Because I know that you have been more traveling than working.
I had a conference in Spain a few days ago. I was a speaker at that conference. I was giving a talk. And then I came here to watch all of the talks on React Conf. And also I did some interviews with people from community, speakers. Yeah, we will release that as a special podcast episode really soon, so tune to that. And like because of that, because I did all of those interviews, I have some secret knowledge that I can share with you.
Oh, but secret knowledge without NDAs.
Well, if my interviewees told me that on like recorded interview, I guess I can say it on the live stream as well.
Well, it's going to be published, right? Like one way or another. So I should be working. And to answer this question myself, this week and previous week as well, I was working on widgets for Expo. And I managed to do that. So last 2 weeks, I learned how to do widgets on iOS, widgets on Android, and live activities on iOS, and it all bundled up and released inside the Expo app. So possibly some blog posts coming out soon from me as well, because that's I feel like I gained illegal knowledge now. Like a lot of people know either how to do widgets or I mean iOS widget or Android widget, or dabbled a bit in one thing or another. But with this one task, I basically like learned modules, how to add and connect modules from Expo, how to add custom native code, and that was a lot. Like it's super annoying, and now I understand why when people release something, they release iOS,
Yeah.
but they don't release Kotlin.
Mm-hmm.
So
Let me ask you two questions, actually. Question one, are you able to use React Native views, or you have to do some native views?
oh no,
script running
native.
and stuff?
That's one of
Yeah.
the things I don't understand. Like, people are so obsessed about creating plugins that will allow you to write widgets with React
With React
Native, but widgets are super simple components. So why not just bite the bullet, get a Swift file, describe everything you want in a Swift file,
Yeah.
and then add it? Like, I would prefer to have a simpler way to pipeline my widgets via natively written files into my Expo project, because now, like, I understand this could be an issue 2 to 3 years ago, but now with AI, I can like partially vibe code, but I have enough experience to like double check the code, understand the code, rewrite it if needed. So I'm able to write those widgets in native code, and then I just need some plugins to basically connect that into the pipeline. So yeah, that's basically a little bit of my idea. Maybe I'll try and somehow create a library that will do something like Expo widgets, but with like a comfort of work from Apple targets from Evan Bacon, because he created his library. And like, a big plus of his library is that you can work inside Xcode, and it creates a symbolic link between Xcode and your file. So you can work in Xcode, and then everything just updates inside your widget folder inside Expo. But with Kotlin, it just makes a copy. So I was opening Android Studio, doing changes, and then copy paste it every time. Sometimes I would open a wrong file, and then it would override from pre-build. It were 2 very heavy weeks.
Yeah. Is it working now?
Yeah. We have Android widgets. I mean, I hope, because today I was also fixing some issues with building, because the Expo widgets we are using, it's basically assuming that you want to override the widget, the module. But if you don't override the module, it makes a copy from template. And then when there is a oh my God.
The ProGuard stuff, right?
No. I mean, when the production build is being done, it runs some mini. What's the word?
I think it's like oh my God.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
I think it was called something like ProGuard or something like that. That's why
it basically minimizes the file. And then when it sees that there are 2 files with the same implementation, it crashes. I feel like it would be a sin, after learning all of that, to not create a blog post or a library from that. I will be trying to work on this. But enough about those projects.
Wait, I have a second question too.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
How do you get the data
from React Native?
Can you use like JavaScript? Let's say you have a better widget. Are you able to use JavaScript to fetch from API?
Yeah. So basically, Apple targets from Evan, those are using his module that he wrote that is using shared preferences.
Okay. Oh, yeah, I see.
And it works, and it's nice, basically. For Android, the Expo widgets library also has predefined module that is attaching. But the problem is that this module treats shared preferences a little bit like a queue, but it doesn't stack the messages, it just overrides them. So if you would like to send a couple of information, like some information to your widget, like 3 separate events, right? It will reach only the last one, because it's overriding everything, and then triggering update from the widget. So I managed to write a better version of that. That's not overriding. But, and I was literally going crazy about that. When I run pre-build and then I run app, right? It was picking up the implementation from the default module.
Yeah.
But then when I just basically clicked play on Android Studio and it updated everything, it was picking up my implementation. And now that's what I don't understand why, how I was going crazy because of that. And so
probably because of the config plugins, but yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It was just doing some weird stuff because it was actually taking my module. I've seen my module inside the Android build file, but it was picking the implementation of pod, sorry, not the pod, but like external. It was pain. It was total pain. So knowing all of that, there will be some dope blog posts, I hope. Blog posts and maybe later some library to handle all of that, because I suffered through setting all of this and trying to understand that. So as I said, it would be a sin not to share that with community now. And with that being said, and with Łukasz being back,
I had to transfer to my mobile internet hotspot because the internet in the hotel sucks, as always, as usual. I couldn't hear you guys at all. So I have this like eSIM plan. Let's see how long I can stream in 1080p and like receive all of you.
Okay. So you know what? Just for precaution, let's start from talking about the conference.
Sure.
And then on the second part, we'll go through with the newsletter. Like, do we want to share a screen or do something like that?
No. What I want to do is like walk you guys through like the conference experience, okay? So like this is the second time that Callstack is co-organizing React Conf together with Meta. It's in this like hotel/resort right next to Las Vegas, like 30 miles outside of Las Vegas, 30 minutes from Las Vegas. We almost all of the conference speakers and participants, we live in the same hotel. So like the whole hotel is almost like a high school camp, you know? Like you interact with those people. Like if you go to the gym at 6 o'clock in the morning, you see people from the conference. If you go for a swim in a pool, you see people from the conference. If you are like going to breakfast, dinner, lunch, you see people from the conference. So that's first, right? So like the first day we check in and we already see a bunch of people wearing the t-shirts. We already see a bunch of people with their laptops. We already see a bunch of people like known in the community. So that's great. Like that's a great atmosphere to be in. So that's one. You come in, you check in, and then like you are already surrounded in like React and React Native people.
So the entire place was for the conference?
Almost. I would say that I saw maybe few people that were here not for the conference, but who knows? Maybe those were like family of someone that came here, right, for the conference. But like I think most of like almost the whole hotel is like conference people. So that's first. So I did that. I landed in Vegas like 4 o'clock on Monday. I came here. And then like the stage was being built, the booths were being built. Next day morning, a big crowd. I don't know, like probably 700 people here or something.
Oh, wow.
Attending. The conference starts with Seth Webster, who is like a chief of React at Meta, right? He's been doing that for years now. and he's managing that effort at Meta, and he kicked it off with like a keynote about React, right? And then he came onto the stage. I'm not sure if you were watching, but he came to the stage and announced the React Foundation, which I guess is the biggest news out of this conference, is the like founding of React Foundation. And Callstack is one of the founding members.
Wait,
among
what is that?
Yeah,
That's a good question.
That's a great question, Kevin. You should be doing this for a living.
I don't. Most probably I
Okay.
won't.
So React Foundation is something that will guide React into the next year, into the future. So React was owned, right, by Meta. And Meta, like since the inception of React over the past 10 years, was like really really playing like a major role at React, and also like owning it, making the most decisions together with community sometimes, but like mostly it was Meta had a deciding voice in that. That's going to shift to being more community driven and more, hey, look what I have here.
Hello.
He's a founding member of React Foundation. So
technically you are too, so it's
you can say more about React Foundation then.
yes. What you were saying, because I just jumped right into it.
I said that Seth Webster is a new executive director at React Foundation, and the guys asked what the foundation is, and I couldn't reply in like 3 sentences. So
yeah,
I guess I don't know.
Well, first of all, I'm happy that this whole setup is working, because I know you were struggling to get this up and running. Yeah, so as you guys know, the foundation has been announced yesterday or 2 days ago. Yesterday, it's been in the making for a while. Because we are working with Meta on the conference, we had a chance to help them sort of figure out a different logistics of how to work with third-party partners. And the idea would be that primarily, and probably the very first thing that the foundation will do will be to run this conference, right? So this conference is the place where companies have a chance to work with Meta directly, and so it's where the foundation will be very, very nicely placed to help. And then wait a second, cool. And then there's a few other opportunities that the foundation is going to be working on, and hopefully hosting more events, taking care of the ecosystem, taking care of the community, and the technical governance of the project is outside of the foundation, right? But technically, if you look at the people that are members of the foundation, to a certain degree, you can expect people that work on those frameworks themselves have representatives from those companies. So there won't be any tight and strict governance from the foundation changing React or React Native this way or the other. But technically, you can expect certain degree of collaboration for sure across that.
I think it's about like giving like a proper structure, like proper attributes to companies that already are doing a lot in React and React Native ecosystems. So like if you look at the founding founders, I was like pretty surprised, but also like very happy to see Callstack, Software Mention, and Expo being partners in React Foundation, because that means, and that's like half of the companies there, like 3 out of 7, I think, are really like connected with React Native itself.
Yeah.
So React and React Native are one, and you can see that in the foundation structure as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Like to give a quick update, because I see that a little bit more people are joining, and there's a question, Yadwine, that asks, what are we discussing today? Today, we are starting with discussing React Conf, and what happened there, what are the updates, and what were, because we have 2 of our reporters right on the on the place.
Hey, this is Łukasz and Mike straight from Vegas. We are recording live and we'll giving you the real-time updates from the pool, I guess.
I wish you could
Yeah.
see beautiful view outside. If it's about me, I can stream like that for foreseeable future. It's nice.
Nice. That's very comfortable. I prefer streaming from my dark space, like without lights. It's even better.
Oh,
So it's basically a cave.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Yes.
so
That was the first like keynote / welcome. Our host for the conference was Michael Chan. You may know him from React Podcast. He was like he is a really vocal voice in React community. Yes, this guy. He was so great. I loved the energy.
Yeah.
At one point during the conference, he was like, okay, guys, I can see that you have enthusiasm, but all you can do is clap and maybe say, yeah. And he gave us some like other things that we can shout, like hell yeah, or no way, or something like that, like few of those. And then like from that point on, when something nice was happening on the stage, people from the audience were screaming hell yeah, or like no way, or like get out of here, or something like that. That was pretty cool.
one question, because it's like I understand the concept of the foundation now, but how will it going further impact how React works and what is happening inside React?
I think it's about giving more equal voice to companies outside of Meta. So like Meta had a deciding voice until now, like of course, like in connection with community and other companies, but it was Meta's framework, and Meta was contributing the most like manpower towards like working with React and expanding React and fixing bugs.
Yes.
And like that will still be the case for the next few months and years, that Meta will have the most people like working directly there. But the framework that they started working on a few years ago, I talked about this with Seth. They started thinking about this a few years ago to move the ownership and to move the stewardship of React from Meta to like a separate entity that can be more democratized and more like community driven and not just like one company driven. So if one company does a bad bet maybe on Metaverse and goes down, hopefully not. Like I hope that Meta will be very successful with their bets. But if that happens, React has a safe space to grow, to have a backing from Callstack and from Amazon and from Vercel and from all those others like founding members.
So can we now find React on stock exchange? Because basically React went public, right?
Well,
so now
it's
you have
not
shareholders.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. There is few partners, and Meta has, like there are board seats. I mean, there will be, because technically very important technical information. The foundation is not formed yet. The process of forming the foundation will take time.
Oh,
No idea how long. When I think about governance, I see deadlines and delays. But when it's formed, the Meta seat, like everybody will have a seat, right? Board seat. And each of those board seats will have some voting power, and there will be some preference over towards Meta for obviously some time, since they're the founding fathers of that whole business. We are founding partners, so we will have our own set of privileges. There will be other tiers of members as well. People will be able to join. As it's always with the foundation. The threshold to join is purely and mostly financial. You can pretty much join any foundation you want. Like we're in the W3C, but we could also join Node Foundation, and we could even have an independent voting rights over something. But that means we would have to pay like a lot of millions of dollars. So the bigger foundation, the bigger the rights, usually the higher the cost. So to mitigate this, foundations always have lower tiers of memberships. So not founding/platinum, but maybe just silver or regular membership. That can be for individual people, can be, I don't know, like $5,000 maybe dollars per year, or maybe even less, or maybe can be given free of charge to distinguished contributors. And then they might have shared seat for many people, right? So before you make your vote at a meeting whether, I don't know, React Native should change color blue to red in its logo, you guys have to agree, this is our vote, and then your vote will be represented at a board meeting with other founding members.
Who's gonna be a board member from Callstack side?
It is not decided yet.
I guess it's gonna be you.
Depends. So we were thinking with Chris, it is either going to be me or him. But the thing we need to understand first is whether the board seat will be more of a technical role or more of a business role. Because if it's more of a business role where they have to agree on different foundation specifics and the real work happens in the working groups, then probably somebody from the business side like Chris is better suited for that role. But if everybody appoints technical people, developers, and CTOs, in that case, I'll probably be the right fit, or somebody from our technical arm, so we can have that discussion.
Kevin, and then if board of directors is made from live streamers and podcasters, we're gonna join.
That's a very irresponsible to put me in such a position. I would hate to wield that power. So enthusiastically, I would say no.
So, like, wrapping this discussion up, like React Foundation was, like, among others, but I would say the biggest thing that happened this year at React Conf. Aside from like technical announcements, like we had a bunch in React Native that I'm excited to talk about with you. But like from like React strategy side of things, that's the move that's gonna have consequences in the next like year or 2 years and 3 years and
I think it will be fun to see where, first of all, where the money goes, because there's going to be a very large budget to spend, right? And what we do with that budget will be fun. I mean, are we going to fund open source work or host more events? I don't know. Will be very interesting to see. But what I'm really excited about is getting closer with other members and working closely together. There's a lot of companies from React Native, and we can, we sometimes work on similar projects, sometimes on diverging projects. And this is now very loud, but I'm saying we should work closely together. And we will probably work under the umbrella of Foundation even closer on even more exciting projects. So generally speaking, this is what I always, this boils down to what we've been talking about, which is broadening the horizon. Like those companies, those founding members of the foundation, this is a very, 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 very small slice of the pie. The whole landscape of software is larger. And like I would say 99.9% of companies using React are not even here. So if we can work, and we will work closer together to expand our reach, that will be better for everybody.
Yeah.
They're gone, right?
Okay.
I'm going to different hotels lately throughout this summer, and they keep
moaning the loan
everywhere I go. It's driving me crazy. Like last time I was in Greece, and literally outside of my window, they were moaning the loan for the whole week, and I'm like, come on, guys! Like the season finishes next week. Like, why don't you do it in autumn or I don't know? And this same stuff happens here. So maybe
maybe we'll try to find another spot.
We can hear you perfectly.
We don't hear anything.
You don't hear the
No.
Your voices are a bit suppressed, but it's still fine.
Yeah. Until you told us that somebody's mowing the grass, I had no idea.
Exactly.
Okay. Let's do this. Let's go through some other news so we can stick with you for a little longer, and then we'll probably like just drop if it becomes like louder.
Sure.
Okay, so please continue your story time.
Oh yeah, so like
Come to the
So
technical
more
side.
like
We
broader
don't care about
points
business.
broader points from like React, from React Conf. So day one started with this, and I was really excited about this. And then it went on to be about React for Web. So the first day was really about React for Web. We had an announcement and like walkthrough through some React 19.2 features. Most of those we actually, Kevin, already discussed on the on the live stream.
Okay, so activity,
Yeah,
cache.
those kind of things.
Okay.
Then if you scroll down, that's the whole day of.
Yeah,
Oh,
profiling.
I actually really liked. I don't think we discussed the compiler and then like compiler debugging tools. So this one we didn't discuss on the
No.
the live stream yet. And then panel about React and AI. Scroll down.
Kent was talking about MCP.
Yeah, so like the first day was about React for Web, definitely. And then the second day was my favorite day because we were discussing React Native. And those guys delivered.
That's a ton of speakers, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Because like afternoon talks were like 10 minutes each.
Oh,
At least
okay.
on the second day. I'm not sure about the first one.
Well, 10 minutes each were the lightning.
Yeah, lightning talks. Yeah.
But talks were generally shorter. 20
But
minutes is usually like very short. Typically, it's like 25 they give you, or maybe even 30.
A quick aside and quick question from Yadvinder. I also want to join. Do I need to build a company first? Well, I guess you don't need a company, but the foundation membership costs and the lowest tier, as you
so so Mike was like just speedballing about that, right?
Oh,
so
okay,
we don't know that yet. You should wait for foundation to be actually established and for some guidelines to be released.
Okay, so there will be a separate web page where we can read about the foundation.
Yeah,
like
there will be
React.foundation. Because this is React.dev. So there will be React.foundation.
Wait a few months for that.
Few months? Yeah, okay, makes sense.
When I spoke with Seth, he said that I think he said that they are planning to do that in December.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So you basically did a speed run through the first day to the dinner and party.
Nice.
Anything exciting happened here?
Yeah, this one had a karaoke.
Oh.
And then we were on this like beautiful lawn with neons, and someone was singing Frank Sinatra, which is really on brand for Vegas. So I enjoyed it a lot. Although with the jet lag, if the party is like going on for like 3 hours and it's already like 10 o'clock in the night, that's like 7 o'clock in the morning for Poland. So I was pretty beat up.
Should have taken a nap at some point and then just wake up for the party. Yeah. Why nobody ever like fought jet lag by not giving up to it? So like when you arrive and for you like their time is like 7 a.m. For you it's very late. Just go to sleep, wake up in the night, and like entire night just party and walk around and just like be up.
Some people do that. So like if you would go to like a place for 2 days and you don't have to interact with people that much, you might want to actually do that. You might want to like keep your like internal clock based on your like place of origin, not a destination. But like I'm here to spend time with people. So
just
like use local time.
Yeah, one day maybe we'll figure out the Uberman sleep schedule. So you basically sleep for 5 minutes every 2 hours or something like that.
Yeah.
And one day. So going into the second day, I see it started with Jorge. Hey, what was he talking about?
So he like established the team for his team. So Nicola, Ricardo, Alex, and Ruben, they all work under Jorge in React team as well, because this is not a React Native team. This is React team at Meta. And like, this is also something that I noticed also last year. Those guys, they don't introduce themselves as I do React Native at Meta. They say I'm at React team at Meta, because like this is one framework. And
Okay.
right now they are doing mostly work on React Native, but they might be like pulled in to do some work on React for web, or like React itself for like reconciler and stuff. So like this is, they have at Meta, they have like 40 people working on React, period. And then like whatever those people do, they go to the conferences and they like talk about it. So the keynote about React Native was amazing. I don't know if you guys had a chance to like look at the announcements, but like basically new architecture is here, and like we all know that, but it's not about new architecture anymore. It's about what it enabled them to deliver.
Like that virtual view.
Like that new list, yeah, like that virtual view.
Yeah, maybe you can find it, Kevin, on.
Yeah, I'm trying to like do the back end here and show everything that Łukasz is talking about. So the list. Honestly, I was up to my neck in widgets and native code, so I didn't hear anything outside of my room for 2 weeks now. So yeah, just talk to me.
I know.
I think if you go to development and then find components, you should be able to find it in the docs.
Yeah. It has its own. It's not in the flat list. It's in the virtual.
Not this one.
Can you search for virtual view?
Oh wait, sorry.
Select the version. Yeah, version has to be next.
Next. And it will be.
Oh my god! I'm gonna send you a link actually.
Yeah, if you have it next to you somewhere.
Yep.
Okay, this should be here. This is here. This should be here.
And then like the trend was to remove stuff from React Native, not add new stuff to React Native. So that's like super weird.
So what they started doing is like the old architecture is officially deprecated. It's frozen, it's deprecated. And from the next release, they're gonna be removing classes from old arc.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what's the hype about virtual view?
I think it lets you do pre-rendering. That's it.
And they are using the Excalidraw, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is this Excalidraw?
Yeah. I think this one is to make React Native ready for activity, because I'm pretty sure they also mentioned activity in this article.
So remember how we discussed activity like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
So basically this like architecture of React and new architecture of React Native allows you to concurrently render React on different threads. So one thread can be like low priority thread that can be paused, and one can be like high priority thread, which is like your main thread. So you would do your work on the main thread of like React rendering, but that pre-render can happen on that background thread, which is like lower priority. So like you can make your view like ready to be displayed, even if it's like off screen right now. And yeah, this is like getting ready for activity. This is enabling like better lists in React Native. And this is all like built on top of new architecture.
So what do you think will be the Because we have legend list, we have flash list.
Yeah.
What will be the next list?
Well, it's not about the names, right? I guess those guys, flash list, legend list, they will just start using those like low-level APIs to just make the libraries better. That's all. That's
And then
all it's going to happen.
Do you think they're going to replace flatlist with this one? Is like flatlist going to become deprecated soon?
I doubt it. I honestly
forgot
doubt it.
to like speak about this with React team. I guess like all of the components are evolving. So like maybe, who knows?
No way. I mean, like flatlist, because this would break so many things, I feel like.
Yeah.
So, okay, to be fair, maybe at some point, one day, it will be replaced, but like the flat list, there should be a React Native and React inside the docs. They should have like a small section, like you have methods, props, example. There should be like a small section, future. Like, what are the plans for that component in the future?
Yeah, that would be nice.
So, okay, so with that, big changes with the virtual view.
Yeah.
Go and now let's jump back into the story time. So there was the React Native keynote, the biggest takeaway from that. Danny says that he thinks that they would make it built into Flatlist at some point, maybe optional implementation or maybe something like that. But I don't know. It's basically replacing whole implement. It sounds.
Hey Danny, where are you right now? We just saw you yesterday here at React Conf.
Here? Yeah, isn't he like here at the conference?
If you're still at the hotel, you can just join us here.
In our villa.
Since right now is the lower level component, you will wrap the virtual view with the scroll view.
So like then the question would be, is this going to be something like use sync external state, like that hook that only library authors use?
That
or
is in
this
Vegas.
something, and or like is this something that we as the developers would use to develop apps? That part is like really weird.
I think that remains to be seen, basically. Like, what do we do with that low-level API?
Okay.
Because, like, do you guys
Also,
use
Yasin says hi.
virtualized list? No one uses that.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
this is like a low-level API for flat list and for section list and for like other things.
Yeah.
Okay, so a new era with virtualized stuff, and going back to story time.
To what?
To your story time. It was the keynote.
Oh, yeah, let's just talk about React Native keynote. There are so many things there. Like, I want to talk about Hermes now. So
that one will be interesting. And the main theme of the live stream should be figuring out whether this is called
static Hermes.
Hermes V1, V8, or whatever.
So they no longer call it static Hermes. It's Hermes V1.
I mean,
but also,
because technically, static Hermes is still static Hermes, right?
Yeah.
But V1 is not that. I mean,
thank you.
So what is the V1-ness of new Hermes?
Okay, so it doesn't support the static features for now.
What I heard is that V1 was cut off the static Hermes branch.
And then they turn off the static parts of it.
Yeah, I will send you, Kevin, a Twitter thread, which might be a bit more easier. I'll send it to you on Slack if you can put this one up. This is where Sveran is explaining what is going on here. And here he says that Hermes V1 is based on the static Hermes branch, not main. And he also says that static Hermes as a keyword is so confusing and overloaded by now that he's likely going to drop it. But I read it yesterday overnight and I didn't really understand what was going on there. So go into that thread. Are you in that thread? So you see the
You have to sign in.
Oh no.
Oh, really? What a mess.
Yeah. Signing in now. Is there,
Just create a
is there
dungeon.
really... create... Sorry, I mean, I have so many windows open right now.
This
It's
is
annoying
interesting.
to...
While he tries to log in, isn't this interesting that, I mean, I love this. I mean, this is what I love about open source collaboration, which is this inertia of like different teams doing their stuff. Like Hermes, and like when I look at Sveran work, he's like very, very locked in working on those features. And sometimes he will go on Twitter and do like this very long thread where he talks about like all the cool features, and immediately it goes viral because everybody's interested, right? And then feels like React Native gets the static Hermes. I mean, React Native gets the Hermes V1, and then Sveran on Twitter is like, yeah, I should make some changelog for that. Maybe we'll do it later. It's like they have their own focuses, and it's always interesting to me to see that from the outside. But I think the V1 wouldn't be as confusing to people if it wasn't for the fact that static Hermes was announced beforehand, and like probably everybody was expecting that static Hermes was a feature, not a version. You know what I mean? Okay, cool. You can scroll down. Just trace Sveran and Jamie discussion. The show replies above if you scroll up. And here you have this discussion.
Is it static Hermes or is the branch of main? Hermes V1 is based on the static H branch, not main. The code name. Oh, goddamn! I'm bad at Twitter. X. I'm X. Bad. The code name static Hermes is confusing and too overloaded by now, so I try to avoid it. So RN82 stable is not Hermes V1. I guess that's the stable refers to, being that React Native refers to V1 supports as experimental, which is the Hermes V1 branch then, because it's not this. Hermes V1 will be opt-in initially, so it's a different branch.
Yeah. So like what you get in React Native right now is what you used to. So like that stable one, you can opt in to V1. I have that in one of my interviews with Ricardo and Nicola from React team.
So what are the changes? What's new about V1?
It's faster.
Obviously.
It's like 60% faster in their like playground experimentation. And when they did it on Expensify app, which is open source, they got like 7% improvement of performance across the board without changing anything, like just swapping the engines. Also what that part was confusing to me.
Yeah.
When they said on stage that, and now you can use new JavaScript features in Hermes, like sets and maps. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
New JavaScript features like sets? I don't know JavaScript before sets. Like I've been using JavaScript for the past 7 years, and it had sets before that. But I guess that is about like native
native implementation,
native support. So we don't need the polyfills now.
Wait, maybe now I will show my lack of knowledge about certain level of wait, something's showing up for me. Do you guys hear me?
Yes,
we can hear you and see you. No problem.
Okay.
Knowledge.
The time to interactive improved because, like Hermes, it's not a building tool.
Engine.
It's an engine.
Engine.
Okay.
So it loads JavaScript, which makes sense for it to.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I thought it's like pre-building everything and then just like shipping it.
It is doing that as well, but so like there is a component of Hermes called Hermes C, which is a Hermes compiler, which compiles your JavaScript code into Hermes bytecode for faster time to interactive and faster loading times.
Okay, and the part that changed is the part that runs the code, not the part that compiles the code.
I guess. so.
Okay, okay. So the bundle load time, time to interactive. Okay, makes sense. The time between the first component being mounted
Well,
and the
honestly,
application
we
being...
don't know what changed, right? Like,
Yeah.
it could have changed across the board.
Yeah.
So the Hermes is not open source?
It is.
It is.
So what do you mean we don't know what changed?
Because like we didn't browse through the changelog, and like I
Exactly.
think Sveran in that Twitter thread said that there is no changelog right now.
Oh, okay.
You can take a look at the diff, but have fun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then
Be a
you
challenge.
will show us how unknowledgeable you are.
Well, then I might just like be too knowledgeable, and then again I would feel bad not sharing that knowledge with everyone. So, yeah, I am busy enough trying to compile those 2 weeks of my work now into something shareable soon, hopefully. Okay, so there
Look
is
at
a
that
way
version.
to... Yeah. That's a very precise...
Yeah, that's probably a timestamp or a date.
People are excited for React Native V1 and
25 this year. 08 is probably October, and 29, like 29th of not October.
No.
Fuck.
August.
What is it? August.
Yes, depends, because sometimes they do month and date swapping places. But yeah, I mean, this is interesting. It's honestly, I'm more excited by the debugging features they're shipping, like the DevTools as an application, or the networking funnel. Like a long time coming. I mean, I remember using these back in the day when we had Chrome debugging, when we were using Bridge and running in Chrome, with WebSockets. You had the network inspector because all the fetches were going through Chrome, but once we dropped that, this was all gone.
So now I'm gonna do one more of those weird questions, because more and more people, like back when I was starting, the most important part was how to eject from Expo, and now people are starting to actually switch back to Expo. And my question would be, is there any way to use new version of Hermes in Expo project?
It is part of the Canary SDK release, I guess. It is mentioned somewhere. So we will, you have to search it. I mean, I saw it on Twitter, and it's expected.
Okay. So it is possible.
One of the great things about recent development updates in Expo is that, like, you see this blog post and it takes a while to digest what it's going on there and how to enable it and all different things. It's like you have to spend some time to understand what it takes to run it. And Expo Canary, or in the future the stable release, it is already there. You can just turn it on, and that is very handy.
It is,
because you don't have to worry about it.
Okay.
Let's talk about debugging tools now. That was also part of the keynote for React Native.
Yes.
It was Alex's section, Alex Hunt, and like, I was speaking with those guys right after the keynote, and I was like, we just had a conference in Wrocław. You could have shown like maybe half of those features in Wrocław up here, but it looks like you've bundled all of them together. You worked in secret for a few months just in order to like bring it all to this stage. And they said, of course we did. Like, this is the conference for React, so we wanted to have something to show off. But this is like Mike said, debugging experience in React Native at one point was quite good 5 years ago. Then it started to degrade. Then like it started to reinvent itself. And now we are at a point where we have a bunch of community tools like Rosenite from Shimon.
Yes.
And like DevTools from Expo as well. But this one is official. It has a native app. It has the same threading lookup as the one in React. How is it called? Do you remember? Like the concurrent React something.
I am totally not sure what are you talking about, but yes.
Yeah.
Wait, so I'm struggling to find anything about debug tools.
So do you mean these performance tracks for React components or something like that? Or
Yes.
is it?
Thank you. Thanks so much. Yeah, this one.
I think
because
it
maybe
was in the
it's
blog
gonna
post.
be like not in 082. Maybe it's gonna be in 083. Because like they announced a bunch of different things. Some of that is like already here, and some of that is expected to land in 083.
Can you go back to this week in React, and then we can take a look at those performance tracks actually.
This week in React.
It might be in the React section.
Oh. Okay, foundation. Because there was something about...
yeah, the performance tracks and...
God damn, performance. That's it? I'm 100% sure I've seen something about performance.
Yeah.
Performance timeline. Maybe that's the one.
Oh, that's a quite deep.
Also, yeah, this one. They've integrated Web Performance API in React Native, like the whole full spec Performance API. So we had that through like third-party libraries, but like right now it's just part of React Native.
Yeah.
So performance downtime. User timing, event timing API, long tasks API. So basically full-blown debugging tools now.
Yeah.
But mainly focused on performance, right?
That makes sense for all the UI that is needed to present. You had to have this.
All right.
Because without it would be quite tricky. I mean, if you look at Rosanite, for example, Shimon has a very, very simple and basic UI for digesting performance, which is based on the React Native performance, whatever, like this package, which provides pretty much this outside of the core. So it kind of makes sense to have this in React Native now for even tighter integration.
And I guess like all of those features are like, in my mind, they are overlapping. So like most of them are enabled by new architecture, but also like most of them, like Web Performance API and like DOM APIs, they are like overlapping with React Strict DOM, right? So like making sure that React Native has enough of web APIs, enough of web compatibility, so that we can write the code just once in this like React Strict DOM paradigm, and not like differently for different platforms. I was speaking, I catch up with Nicholas about this, and I was really behaving like a fanboy because I started using his React Native web package like way back 8 years ago in the first company that I ever worked in React Native for. They asked me to do a port of React Native app into web. I found this library. It worked back then even. And now I can speak with this guy on React Conf about React Strict DOM, which is like really fully fledged way of like interactive of like writing the code for both platforms at the same time. So sorry for jumping like through subjects, but like it really feels for me that we are getting a bunch of features, and it's like this like Monte Carlo simulation, or like darts. Like a bunch of features are coming out, and like most of them are overlapping in few places. Some of those will be used by library authors. Some of those will be used by us, like regular developers. But like all of that is like giving me like a shell shock from just like new things that we have to digest.
Yeah. especially with changes in React as well. They've added
Yeah.
a lot of things in React. Yeah.
I feel like actually, last couple of weeks, like the
Yeah.
development speed of React and React Native like really picked up.
So I feel like React was sharing the things like consistently on blog posts and like Twitter, and like we saw all of that, most of that in this week in React before the conference.
Yeah.
So React one was not that surprising for me, but React Native one, even though those developments are happening in public on discussions and in like working groups and like in PRs, RFCs, most of them were like really surprising for me.
Do you think that at some point React Native or React, like they will eat each other up? Because
So like I don't think so. Like the overlap is huge, but like the target devices are different. So you still need that like low level APIs, like low level knowledge to like really understand what's going on. That's why I really like the talk about React Strict DOM, because then Nicolas like explained how is it different from styling perspective, from composition perspective, and stuff like that.
Did you have a talk about strict DOM? You just mentioned it.
Yeah, there was a talk about React Strict DOM.
And then, like, did they talk about the timelines, if you should be using it today?
So like there was one production application that they showed on the stage during the React Native keynote. They mentioned Zalando, and they mentioned that Zalando released a blog post about their like experience with React Strict DOM. So they are already using it. And then when Nicolas came to do his talk about React Strict DOM, he was talking about their own like meta internal migrations. So what I got from talking with him is when they create new features, they encourage people to use React Strict DOM to write them. Because like you don't write regular HTML or React, you need to use this specific syntax of React Strict DOM. And then during the transform phase in Babel, it's gonna just like replace the HTML dot div to div. And it's gonna like translate that to like Android View or whatever. So like they are trying to do that. They already have, I forgot what app it was, but like there is some like experiences in some apps that like are fully strict DOM based. Do you remember which one it was? I
was busy working on my talk, which was like right after that. So.
I think they mentioned that some parts of Instagram for Quest, for VR, are written in strict DOM, and that enable teams to like move the web code to VR with very small set of changes.
So what is React Strict DOM?
Oh my god.
React Strict DOM.
Kevin is obviously asking for a friend now.
React Strict DOM is a way. It's a syntax for React.
But if you scroll up the diagram, there was nice explanation.
It looks complicated.
It is, but if you zoom up a bit, you can see the difference where the line is drawn.
Yeah.
So if you want to learn more about it, my talk is actually where I break it down in a very simple way, but on a very low level. You know, you have the platform extensions as a lowest primitive for sharing code, and you can write, I don't know, you can write container.native, and this will be loaded on the React Native environment. And you can write container.web. So when you have those two separate files, in one you can write view, and the other one you can write div. And that's what the strict DOM is. Strict DOM exposes you a collection of HTML-like components prefixed with HTML. So you write HTML.div, HTML.h1, HTML.p. These all, HTML is just an object, right? So you do import star as HTML from strict DOM, right? That's why you can write HTML.p. And then these are basically different default components for both platforms with unified styling. So the heading, for example, has the same font more or less and the same font size across all the platforms. And the core difference between React Native Web and the React strict DOM from concept is that React Native Web required you to write with the React Native code. So it was best suited for new projects, right? You had your existing website. You were not going to convert anchor or div or paragraph to React Native. And existing React Native code with a bunch of native specific features was not really going to be a drop-in copy to the web because you didn't have most of those features anyway. So strict DOM is the opposite, right? Considering you already have your paragraphs, your divs, your anchors, whatever, you can simply, well, I would assume you can code mod some of your components and just prefix p with html.p and call it a day. But the idea is you write with those web primitives, and this is the lowest DOM primitive that can run across both platforms. And that's what this diagram really shows, which is it unifies behavior across both platforms rather than exposing React Native primitives purely to the web.
Okay.
I feel like the code snippet would make it easier for you to digest it, but the diagrams are equally interesting.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, okay. So there is.
Then, do you guys have news about the compiler? Because I heard like there's like a new optimization concept plus the compiler.
There was a sneak peek, right?
I think like what's new in compiler is like the bubble plugin and slint rule set got updated
to 1.0.
But you're right, Burak, to say that there was a new concept sneak peeked.
Yeah.
I saw it was like super fast. I don't know if that's like a name or a code name.
They mentioned something like signals.
Or Forest, project called Forest.
Yeah.
It is there. It is there. If you scroll up, Kevin, or whoever is scrolling, when right at the top where you have highlights.
Yeah.
This one.
New compiler-based F-word React performance project called Forest. And fair.
So this one is runtime based.
Oh, I missed it.
This one was like very fast on a diagram.
Yeah, and then this is runtime based, not like a pre-compile step or something like that.
So what is it?
I have no idea.
By the way, an interesting insight here is that, as you can see, there's a lot of performance-based projects coming out of React and React Native team, like those metrics and those activities and stuff. And even during the keynote, they were showing how they are computing, how much time is spent on rendering versus what percentage eventually makes it to this final screen. So I was chatting with a few engineers during the conference. I cannot say where and what, but basically what they told me is that, like at Meta, it is pretty democratic process in a way that it's not like whole company has a one blessed way of doing things. It is so large that they do all the things. So for your technology, let's say you are championing React Native, for your technology to be used on Instagram, you have to find yourself a champion on the other side as well. And what I heard was that for the very long time, not necessarily exclusive to Meta, but in general, the sentiment was that those large companies were like just saying, no, like why should we go with React Native? We already have this established experience. And now what I'm hearing is it is more of a question. It is interesting. Let's have a discussion. And what I heard is that all of these projects are being purpose-made to enable React Native to run in some of the most demanding and busy pieces of their mobile applications. But because there is an interest now, there are some challenges, and they're solving them. So eventually, once we get to completion, maybe that is where the stable version comes out. It will greatly help, and at least nobody will be asking, why is the React Native not running here or there anymore? Because what I'm hearing is they're working on it. It might take a very long time, but this is where they get inspiration for many of those performance features that they're working on. So it's not like they're doing this because it's fancy. They're actually doing that because they have real use case.
So like one day we're going to see Instagram homepage written in React Native, hopefully?
I cannot say, I mean, for example, right? Like, I wouldn't necessarily say this is what it will happen, but assuming hypothetically that you were the React Native champion and you went to the Instagram team and pitched them React Native, perhaps they would tell you, okay, it's interesting, but, and you would end up doing things. Okay, so this is what we have to improve, or this is where we have to spend a bit more our engineering time, and supposedly once we get this up and running, then we will be able to get this running.
And then I guess like their biggest excuse was the performance of React Native, so now they're trying to fix it with dev tools plus the compiler plus.
Yeah, I mean that's what I would assume. Yeah.
And then like it's true, like React Native introduces some overhead, and if you don't do like proper React Native code, then it's going to be slower than native app, in fact. But
I think that was also like mentioned during going back to that React Strict DOM. Nicholas was saying that there is an overhead like between React Native and React Strict DOM. React Strict DOM is slower. Like they are working on it to like bring it like to the same level as React Native. But like right now, if you are using React Strict DOM, it's gonna be like half as slow or like 60% of the React Native experience. So like that's significant.
It's always Luka's problem from one side to another, because I was also speaking with Nicholas during a break about why did you change from React Native Web to React Strict DOM, and he told me that one of the biggest drawbacks apart from API that he got was when he would go and pitch this concept to some teams internally, they would be like, we're not going to increase bundle size with those many polyfills for React Native APIs that you have there. And nobody wanted to be the first one. And the benefit of Strict DOM was that by shifting this perspective, by flipping it, there is literally no overhead on the web.
Yeah.
But then
there is an
overhead on React Native side. So it's like, it has to be solved.
He said that they are working on it, and like they are working on it basically.
So this is not like a Babel plugin. So this is like some runtime stuff. Is
You should go and look at the Kevin. Maybe you can pull up the source code for a second, because I think it's interesting to have a look of the Strict DOM repo. I was preparing my talk, so I will navigate you directly to what you need to see. You will.
Don't worry about being unknowledgeable.
Go to packages, packages folder. Go to Strict DOM, React Strict DOM. Go to source. Go to native, and then go to HTML.js. And here you will scroll down and scroll down, even down, like where you see export something. Here. Let's stop for a second here. So see, here you have on line 121, you have export B, which is bold, and it's a component which has some default styling applied. You can see they are applying the style default and bold over to it. And go to create React text, highlight this one, and then click on the top. This one. This the first line. Here. And so let's go to modules, create strict DOM text component. It is very long name, but it's in the native folder. So let's click on the native, maybe at the top.
Yeah. Modules, yeah.
So each of the web is exactly the same. Create strict DOM text component.
Text component. Okay.
So as you can see, this is perhaps where the overhead is coming from, because, well, there they have to apply the accessibility label, and they have some other stuff they're doing here to make it work, depending on whether this is Anchor.
But I guess at the end of this file, we'll see the text.
Yeah. If you scroll down, no matter what is going on here, blah, 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 here you will have the element or the component. And so we have to find the constructor for the component, or the native component, right? Like highlight the native component here. Yeah, see on the line 36.
It's top, yeah.
Yeah.
But kind of like you can get the concept, like when you dig through those different lines that I just navigated you through, you can get the idea of.
So instead of like writing JSX text and then like applying styling yourself and like adding all of those different things, you would write HTML.p or .a or .b or whatever.
Yes.
And then under the hood, it's gonna apply all of those like different mixins for you and give you JSX text anyway.
Yes.
And it will happen for like all of those like crazy HTML notation components.
But like still 60% overhead.
Sorry?
60% overhead with like just these default styles. That's crazy.
Lot, given that this, I mean, this file doesn't seem like 60% to me, but
yeah, this is what I was going to say, that it's not about like one text component. It's about like the whole application, right?
You're talking like AI now. Because to me,
AI is always agreeing.
The biggest AI smell after the M dash is this is not this, it is that. You know, you remember this construct. It's not just something, it is
something and something.
But you are maybe either you have brain slop already, or this is just real English and I'm confused.
No, you know what it is? It's about like talking about things that you don't know anything about. So like you just start talking and like I can think about other things, but like still talk about the topic. No. So
English
it's not 60% overhead. What the slide showed was if React Native is performing at 1, React Strict DOM is gonna be 60% of that performance. So like I guess the overhead is 40%, not 60, right? In that's it's flipped.
Really bad. Yeah.
It is, but it's not about the text component, it's about running the app. So I guess like we don't know what's like the initial setup for this looks like. We would have to like dig through the code to actually see that. We don't know where the like value 60% comes from. What are the like scenarios to test that? So we'd have to ask Nicolas, and he's not on Twitter.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask a naive question, dear Łukasz GPT. I think that's a simple question. Why? Like,
why what?
Why? Like, let's say I'm creating a new project, right? Why would I pick up React Strict DOM over writing in React Native?
So this is shifting the paradigm for
that's such a catch-all response. I'm sorry, but I feel like that's an answer about everything.
Universal apps. In order to write universal apps, you can use, for example, React Native Web, but this brings the overhead to web and also forces the web developers to write in unfamiliar syntax of text and views and different styling.
Image,
I guess you can use the like CSS, but okay. But then like that's proven to be ineffective because it is going against some of the very well established web patterns and web paradigms. So what they figured is it's gonna be easier to convince 20% of your total development force, which is on React Native, than 80% of your total development force, which is on web, to use this new syntax that is web inspired, that is like very similar to web.
Yeah.
Still some differences there, but really similar to web, and just render this on native instead of
this
trying to force everyone to use text and views and whatever.
So this is basically an entry drag.
It's what?
Like you want some of my strict DOM, and then oh yeah, let me try that strict DOM, and then oh suddenly you wake up and you are a native developer.
Yeah.
I think like what's the best way to understand it is that they work on it at Meta. They don't like treat React Native and React community open source as their primary target, maybe with some of the experiments that they do. They want to serve their internal customers, meaning like their internal teams. They're thinking, how can we make our development inside Meta for our products faster? And this is what they came up with. If we start writing all of the new features on the web in this syntax, we get a lot of benefits of moving those projects, those products to platforms like Oculus. So in the talk from Nicolas from yesterday, he basically said that it took the team like a few hours or something to bring that web strict DOM experience to Oculus for Instagram in no time. And then they were able to focus on Oculus specific features instead of like bootstrapping the projects from scratch.
You know what? I just realized that React community is basically fueled by annoyance and pain and hate.
What?
Yeah, I feel like most of the libraries and projects gets created from why are we doing this? Like, let me just do it myself. Just pushing away everyone's. Let me just do it properly. And people are just like sitting down, creating a new project. Like, this is how how it's supposed to be done. This fixes this issue, but creates this issue.
Hey guys, we still have 2 minutes to answer any of the questions that you might have for us, and then we're dropping.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me ask something maybe.
Waiting, so.
Burak has a question.
Okay,
Burak, I
what
have a
was
question for you before. What is your Twitter account? Because I want to tag you.
ATIJ.
LJ. Yeah. No, not I, it's L underscore. You underscore ATLJ.
Thank you.
How did you come up with this? That's the
It's a long
second
story. It's a long story, but the question would be,
I don't see you.
you know,
For a moment, I'm gonna stop screen sharing and bring us back to.
So like my
Bring us
question
back
would be,
so I can see it's ATLJ.
Oh,
nope, there we go.
Kevin doesn't know how to moderate this.
What I knew.
nope. Something broke. Somebody clicked something and it broke.
You should.
Here I am again.
But that's what I basically. Oh,
I'll just brute force fix it. There it is.
yay!
Somebody-
It works.
Somebody put something, but here we are. I think that should be good now. Thank you.
That was a nice way to spend your 2 minutes. Thank
No,
you.
I mean, we can extend it.
Yeah, we can
but
extend it
this
a
is
little
looking
bit.
Way better now with the PAL. I have to make.
Okay, what about the second biggest update of this year? Like, what else happened? React compiler, yeah, we get it. That's amazing. What else did happen that you guys remember? Nothing
You
else.
go first. I mean, okay, foundation, compiler, performance tabs, and developer tools, standalone dev tools. Like, these are the things that I immediately remember. I am also very excited to see a lot of companies adapting React Native in a incremental brownfield way. We've seen two very interesting showcases from Zalando and HelloFresh. And I'm happy to see that in both of these cases, our library is being referenced, which is great. And I know that generally the brownfield story is going to improve in React Native. So that is amazing. I kind of didn't have enough time to digest React features because they shipped just before the conference and I was busy. I'm not sure if you guys had. I like the idea of activity because with React Native, I remember very early on when I was working with Satya on many different navigations, the re-rendering of components hidden in the background, that was quite painful. Sounds like this should be interesting. Like this can be interesting in React Native apps for sure. So that's what I'm like thinking about.
Also for bottom sheets.
Yes.
For rendering bottom sheets is going to be so much better.
Exactly.
Also with this new API with like VirtualView, that should be like really good.
So generally everything now is becoming harder and harder. I mean, it's no longer just few hooks, right? So many interesting APIs. But yes, I think that one is interesting from like real usability perspective, not just some performance updates or debugging, but actually some real real meaningful improvements to your developer experience and end user experience as well.
And then did you like what you saw with the React compilers DevTools stuff? I guess they announced a lot of stuff regarding So like now you can see what exactly is being optimized and stuff. I guess you always were able to see that, but like now what changed? Like did they ship a VS Code plugin or something like that, or it's still the same?
For what? Sorry,
For the compiler, VS Code plugin. Is it a plug? I don't know. Like this was there from the beginning, I think.
It was built into the React DevTools. You could always see like what component is being optimized, but I've seen like they've announced some new stuff for debugging.
I see. Well, I'm not sure if we are wrapping up or we are dropping, but in case we're just dropping, you guys can continue.
Yeah, just continue. Yeah.
Okay.
Especially now that we have 230 people on stream, and when we were talking, there were only 50. So next time we have to flip the order. But I always tell you, we have to do it longer because if we do it longer, maybe then it's like 500. That's always the key. That's why people do ERLs for the whole day.
We wanted to flip the order because of Łukasz eSIM. Like we didn't want to drain him out of the internet.
Well, I already topped it out. I already have like a new package of data coming in. But what we have to do is we have to check out from this hotel and like pack the stuff
and enjoy the pool. Enjoy the pool.
The pool.
This is what we're in for. I mean, we like live streaming, but this is way better. Obviously, this is the reality of JS engineers on the conference. That's why people ask me why this conference is happening in Vegas. This is the answer.
A lot of work ahead of us.
Exactly.
Well, I'm gonna do some copium. I'm gonna take a bath today.
Sounds like fun. Okay, so we are dropping. You guys, you guys do your thing, and thanks everybody to us from Vegas, and thanks guys for setting this up for us.
Yeah. See ya.
Thank you for joining so early in the morning.
No worries.
No worries. We didn't sleep since 5 o'clock in the morning. Bye.
Anyway,
Bye. Oh, okay. So, do we want to go through some more of the news, or would we also like to slowly wrap it up? And if we would like to wrap it up, there is only one way to wrap it up, and it's with Bytes Dev Code Challenge.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah, let's go for it.
Okay. Because there was a lot of happening. I was trying to follow everything, but today I didn't even know that there is such a thing as React Strict DOM and then React Native Web, and that like so many different flavors of basically the same thing. So I got lost halfway, unfortunately. Sorry for that. And as always, I'm gonna have a problem finding the newsletter. I think I should enter the Bytes archive, latest issue, and the code challenge. Okay, I'm sharing the code challenge. Sharing the screen with the code challenge here. Ta-da. Okay. So
That's it.
spot the bug. Yes. Let x equals 5, let y equal 10.
I think you have to add a let in front of that array. The first one on the left.
Here?
Yeah, like you have to write like let or const right in front of
But
that.
isn't
so
this
is actually I think like
So
this
to
is
the-
actually a valid syntax, but
But this is this because this is the structuring, right? Basically, like this is the assignment, and this is taking the x. It should be taking x value for y and y value for x. So, you know what? This time, since it's very simple, let's just brute force it, and let's just check.
To be honest, I would never do this because you're creating a new array just to swap two values.
And then x and y equals y and x. Well, first of all, there is no return from that, so...
And then now check the x value.
It's 10, and
It's
y
10?
is 5.
Wait, okay, so it works. There's no bug.
Okay. I'm a bit confused.
Yeah.
It works. Why does it work?
Yeah. Can you scroll down? Like, is this the only code snippet?
Yeah, that's all. That's the spot the bug. But
I'm confused.
there is no bug. I'm sorry, I'm gonna scroll to the answer because I'm very confused. If you run the code, you get the reference error. Why is not defined error? This is because the JavaScript engine does not automatically insert a semicolon after 10. What?
The problem is no. The problem is you run it using that console. If you run it like as a file or something using Node.js, it would fail probably.
Why? Because the subsequent line can be parsed as the continuation of the expression, meaning...
Yeah, exactly.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, because like you executed all of those as separate expressions, so you didn't get to see the bug in the console.
Yeah, okay. This this explains why this worked, but
yeah.
You know what? Honestly, I've been like as I said, past 2 weeks I've been writing in Kotlin and in Swift. So honestly, I completely forgot that we need those.
Yeah.
I forgot about semicolons. I completely forgot that we use semicolons, and it just takes
you actually don't need it. The JavaScript engine adds a semicolon for you. It actually does this.
I mean, we have set up everything in a way to make it similar, but so we know that it just takes 2 weeks to forget how to program in a language.
Try programming in Golang next time. And
one day I'm gonna try, and like one of my biggest dreams for quite a bit now was to learn Godot. I know that it has nothing to do with Golang. I don't know why I said that.
Okay. Oh, so you mean go to the what's it, like an expression or statement?
No, Godot, the engine.
Oh, the game engine.
Yeah, the game engine.
Oh yeah.
Like that's my dream, to one day create a game, but
just do it. Yeah.
I know, but I've been dreaming about it for so many years that it grew to such a level that now I'm just basically terrified to start. I don't know why. It's crazy. It's annoying, but so yeah. Let's just quickly skim over, because so today we talked about the new stuff from React Conf. We discussed the view transition. We didn't discuss the fragment. We discussed React Foundation quite a lot. So there is new React compiler 1.0, so it's stable, I assume. But there is also Forest and Fir announced.
Yeah.
And we have no idea what's that.
Some idea, but yeah.
Some idea.
Right.
By some idea, I understand that runtime-based signal lazy computation graph and constrained version of React, hybrid, literally. Okay.
I can imagine what they're gonna go for, but yeah, like, but in what form? Like, I can see that it's a runtime stuff, but like, are you gonna install a separate package? Or are you gonna configure React in a way? But yeah, that's up to see.
Okay. Then Hermes, new Hermes, which I learned what a Hermes is apparently. There are so many moving parts to React and React Native that I get lost so often. There's a new React, of course, DOM nodes API. We did web performance APIs. So many news every week recently.
This is amazing. This one is amazing. Yeah.
Oh, this one?
Yeah. Now it's the React Foundation, because like, look at all the companies.
Yeah. I noticed that.
Yeah.
Well, what can you do? For some reason, we love React Native and React.
Yeah.
I wonder why, actually, because I feel like there was a moment where it was basically 50-50 React or Angular. And for some reason, everyone went React.
Yeah. React won at this point, so there's no going back to Angular at this point.
Okay. Burak, I don't know how about you, but I'm destroyed.
Yeah, let's wrap it up for today.
Let's wrap it up for today. So everyone, thank you for being with us. Thank you for Łukasz and Mike for waking up so early and being pushed to use the pool in this amazing hotel and spend time with amazing smart people. So yeah, sorry for that, and thank you for that. But jokes aside, thanks to these guys. Hopefully, when they will watch it in the retrospect, they will see. Let's go back on the main stage. Thank you, Burak, so much for being here with me. I heard, because you were on the stream previously with Łukasz, right? And he told me that it was such a pleasure co-hosting stream with you, because you have this natural way of like flowing through conversation, asking great questions, and having this very in-depth knowledge. And I see why he said that, because that's completely true. So thank you. You are really amazing. Like, it was such a this was one of the first streams where I just kind of was not talking, and you were just asking all of the great questions and flowing through the stream. So amazing job, and thank you so much for that. So 100% you will have an outgoing invitation for future streams, as often as you will be willing to join. So thank you for that. As always, thank you to all the amazing viewers who participated today, who commented. Sorry I didn't, usually I interact with the comments and we have more of a discussion, but with 4 people talking, I would feel bad just jumping in, showing a comment, like, wait, let's talk to that guy. So sorry, we didn't have enough time to talk with every commenting person today. It will change most probably on the next week.
Yeah.
But with all of that being said, thank you everyone so much. Yeah, see you this same time next week for more React Native news. And maybe finally we'll play around with some new fun stuff to actually code something. And with that being said, I guess I should now turn on the outro music. We have an outro music. Maybe this one? Nice. Yeah, thank you so much. See you next time. And this slide, and bye-bye.